All right, we are back. The Fam Sports Podcast, live from State College. I'm Logan. I'm here with Devin. And now we have two special guests. We got Dom, the NBA analyst. That's pretty much the only purpose he serves here. And we got the all-around sports analyst, Squid Wilson. What's up, Squid?
What is up, my man?
He is back. We just heard from him about the NHL, but he is an all-around sports analyst.
The encyclopedia of sports. That's what I like to call him. All right. So now we're talking about NBA. NBA playoffs get closer and closer. The anticipation is building. We know that the Timberwolves and Nuggets are playing. As of right now, it's at halftime. Who do you guys have winning this match here? Pretty important for the playoff race.
Oh, it's not even a question. Timberwolves, easily.
I would beg to differ that it's not even a question. Because they're only up by 8 at half. And if it's not a question, they should be in the playoffs already.
You know, for once I'm actually going to have to agree with Dom. I think the Timberwolves are going to take this game. You have players like Jimmy Butler, Andrew Wiggins, Karl Anthony Towns. I don't think this team can be beat, at least by the Nuggets. When it comes to playoffs, that's a different story. I think they'll be out in the first round. And, yeah. So I'm going with the Timberwolves for tonight, but I think their playoff success will be in question.
Look, the Nuggets are too young. They don't really have anyone besides Jokic. Jokic is an amazing player, but you look at both teams back, like next to side to side. Okay, Jimmy Butler is coming back, and he's really strong. He's looked really great in these past couple games. Then you have Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins. Both of them can be potential All-Stars one day. So I just don't see the Nuggets even pulling anything off of this.
I think they're both pretty similar teams in that they're young and they're talented. I think the Timberwolves are a little bit farther along in their developmental process. Even with the injury to Jimmy Butler, they're just better right now, and I don't think the Nuggets can keep up scoring-wise with the Timberwolves. They're both offensive teams, so I could see the score being in the 100 teams, 120. It'll be a high-scoring game in the end, but I think that with the scoring I think Wiggins will have a big second half, and I think that'll lead to the win for the Timberwolves. But in the future, this could be a conference finals matchup because these teams are young and really talented.
All right.
Interesting.
So as we move to our next topic here, this is going to be one wild ride. Who's the best in the East and the West, and who will win each conference? Squid, let's start with you.
In the East, I have the Cavs.
Yes, thank you. Dom, this is not your time to talk. Let Squid talk.
It has been the LeBron show in the East for years, and it'll continue to be the LeBron show in the East because
King James,
Celtics,
baby.
The Celtics lost Kyrie, and that was their main guy after Hayward got hurt. They got their 2 top players out. You can wait. They got their 2 top players out. You look at the Toronto Raptors. Oh, yeah, they're talented. When's the last time they went anywhere in the playoffs? They haven't. They always underperform.
Not to mention
whatever the heck he wants, but they can't win in the postseason.
Squid, not to mention, every time they see LeBron, they cower up on a ball and roll down the hill.
Serge Ibaka crawls into his little shell when he sees LeBron. LeBron makes him look like a fool every single time.
Those baby dinosaurs are truly babies.
You do know that the Celtics are 12-6 without Kyrie, right?
Yeah, 12-6 against inferior opponents. Good luck when they play a real team like the Cavs.
When will they play?
Unless they have someone dislocate Kevin Love's shoulder again, just pull his shoulder right out of his socket.
Look, I'm not rooting for the Celtics to come out of these. I'm telling you, every 6 years, this is their year.
Oh,
come
my.
on.
Here
come
we go
on.
again. Here we go about Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. They just don't match up against LeBron James. The experience that LeBron James has in playoffs is ridiculous. The plays that LeBron James will pull to win games, the clutch plays that LeBron has, is unquestionable. I don't think these 76ers will... I think they'll do well in playoffs, but when they see LeBron, I don't think they'll win. I think they'll collapse under the pressure.
I would have to.
They don't even have an answer for Embiid. Embiid is possibly the best center in the game right now. And not even to add that, they've been on a 15-win streak without Embiid. So when he comes back, they're just adding to the power.
Can you put Embiid on the court for 7 games in a row in a long series? Oh, more
It's
important,
spaced out. The games are spaced out. It's not like in the regular season when you have back-to-back games.
Second game, it'll be the second series to possibly the third series when they would meet. It's going to be farther along, and I don't know if Embiid's health will hold up. And then you have Ben Simmons, a possible Rookie of the Year, and then who else? Robert Covington. Is Robert Covington going to carry the team?
They have a bunch of shooters around them and veterans. Like this team is built for the playoffs right now. Not to mention they're 2-2 with the Cavs during the regular season.
Dom, I got 3 words for you, man, and you better listen real hard. All right?
If it's just LeBron, then I don't want to hear it.
LeBron frickin' James.
Thank you. Amen, brother. Amen.
Okay, well,
All right.
Embiid and Simmons just take him off court.
We'll see. We'll see come playoff time.
The 76ers might struggle to score 76 points.
The Sixers have the top 3 defense in the league.
Yeah, in the regular season.
What is that even supposed to mean?
Playoffs are a whole different animal. Doesn't matter what sport it is.
Last time they went to the playoffs, Andre Iguodala was their best player. And now, he's been on the Warriors for years. I mean, it's been a long time since Philly went to the playoffs. I don't know if they're ready yet.
Well, I mean, we did see these two teams face off last Friday, and the 76ers did win by 2 points. It was a very close game, very competitive, and I do think that's what the series will contain. But I think in the end, you just can't question LeBron James. We have been doing it for years and years and years. And time again, he continues to prove all of the doubters and the haters wrong. I think this will be just another repeat. We will see time repeat itself, and you'll be crying over the 76ers, Dom, and little precious Ben Simmons.
That was the year for him to be beaten in the East is this year.
All right.
Yeah, well,
All right, how about we move to the West now? Who is your guys' team in the West? And Dom, if you say Golden State, you're off the podcast, buddy.
I can't even say the Rockets. I don't know who would even be my favorite in the West. Because Rockets, James Harden, D'Antoni, and Chris Paul haven't proved anything in the playoffs in their whole career. Golden State is nothing without Curry. And that just kind of proved that Kevin Durant can't really carry that team by himself.
which is why my Utah Jazz are the next pick.
Utah Jazz are not going anywhere. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
They're surprised to make the playoffs. I don't know how far they'll go.
Donovan Mitchell, my boy, Rookie of the Year. You heard it here first, all right? You heard it here.
An interesting matchup in the first round is if the Minnesota Timberwolves, actually they're the 8th seed, so they wouldn't be playing. But if Golden State were to face Minnesota, that's their kryptonite. Year in, year out. Minnesota has not had good teams, but they've always been able to compete with Golden State.
Well, at the moment, actually,
Golden State will be slipping up.
At the moment, Golden State would actually be playing OKC right now.
Yes, and I think that it'll be an interesting matchup. Durant against Westbrook. You'll see the best out of Westbrook. And I don't think that they're going to win. Their big threes turned into a big two, and Steven Adams and Carmelo Anthony.
I mean, all these teams are almost equally good.
I think a surprise team to move on
is the Utah Jazz.
I have the Trailblazers. I really think the Rockets don't do that well in the postseason. We could see another Damian Lillard buzzer beater to move them on in the playoffs.
Trailblazers are probably going to beat the Pelicans. Credit to Anthony Davis, but he's never even won a playoff game.
Whoa! Don't talk down on my unibrow friend, all right?
He's never won a playoff game in his career.
I think that's his teammates around him. I don't think it's his fault, but his team stinks.
Okay, well, I would still pick Trailblazers.
I would think that. And that's a second round matchup.
DB, to your point, I think Jazz could probably beat the Spurs, given that Spurs don't even have their best player, and they're just completely old at this point.
Big Popovich is crumbling. You can see Krusty. He's getting crusty.
No, it's not him. It's the fact that all of his players are 80 years old. And he's on the edge of retirement.
He's aged by 10 years this year, just dealing with the stress of having to put up with Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, I mean, he's crusty now. So,
think Rockets will, if they can prove it, they'll outfire Timberwolves. The biggest threat is, Golden State or OKC to Golden State. You know, that team isn't really good, but when it comes to KD, Russ really has something to do.
All right.
And James Harden has not shown up in the postseason, so I don't know how far they can go.
I think this is a different year. I think James Harden, obviously the go-to for the MVP this year. I do think that he'll turn things around in the postseason. I think the Rockets are a really strong team. They do have some depth, and I think they have chance to make the conference finals and maybe even the finals. It depends on how the rest of the West plays out, but I do think the Rockets have a good shot this year. I do think James Harden can turn it around, but I can also see the point of where you guys are coming from as well.
All right. Playoffs shaping up. I think all but one spot, right, is solidified.
Yeah, for
I
playoffs.
believe so.
So, which matchup are you guys most looking forward to? We'll start. Actually, we'll do in both conferences. So, starting in the West, which of the matchups are you most looking forward to?
Has to be Warriors Thunder.
Yeah.
It's a 2-7 matchup, but with Curry banged up, it'll be Westbrook against Durant. And this is where, if Durant says that he's the best player in the world, this is where you show it. You got no one left to support you. There's no one there now that is a star player that's alongside him. You got all-stars, but Klay Thompson plays better in a secondary role. Draymond Green plays better in a defensive role. So the burden to carry this team will be on Durant. I'm interested to see if he can beat a team that's quality on his own, with him as the star player. He did it against the Cavs, but he had Curry to support him. And with an injured Curry, it'll be really interesting to see if he can compete with the hungry Russell Westbrook and a hungry Thunder team that is in win-now mode.
Yeah. I would say that or Rockets and T-Wolves, just because
Yep, that's
I
what I
want
was
to see
going to
how
say.
Harden and CP3 perform.
All right, we'll move to the East. What are you guys looking forward to there the most of the first round matchups?
I would say Heat Celtics. Really interesting matchup. The Celtics are banged up going in, so they're a team without a star. And you look at the Heat, they're a team without a star. You have probably the two best coaches in the East. I think this will be more of a coaching showdown than it will a player showdown. It'll be really interesting to see how the teams match up. Hassan Whiteside will be angry going in because the Heat might go small. And he's going to have to deal with that because that might be a recipe for success against the Celtics.
I have to disagree with you. I mean, those are two of the best defenses in the East. And considering that they don't have any scorers, especially that Kyrie now is injured, they don't really have any scoring. So it's going to be a battle of the defenses. I don't think it'll be that exciting. Cavs are just going to destroy Pacers. It's not even a question.
Hey. Don't crap talk my Pacers, all right?
Oladipo is the most improved player in the league, but they weren't even expected to make the playoffs.
Exactly. They're a surprise seed, and they're a 5 seed, Dom. You know what?
I would say Sixers and Bucks because I want to see how Giannis performs in the playoffs.
All right, well, so we do know that the playoffs are shaping up. Should be a very exciting time. And that will be all for our NBA portion of today's show. Thank you, Dom, for joining in. Squid, you will be with us for our next session. Not surprised, the Encyclopedia of Sports. But Dom, thank you. And we will catch you guys later.
That Ben Simmons is rookie of the year, unanimous.
All right, we'll catch you guys later. Thanks.